Hey lovelies, and welcome back to the channel. This is Tola welcoming you back to our lovely space. In today's vlog, I'm just going to be showing you what my typical morning starts like. And on this day, you can tell that I'm a slow waker and I'm probably not a morning person because, you know, sometimes you just wake up really slow. So this is me just observing quiet time and just trying to get myself fully awake and alert, ready for the day and ready for those boys. So I'm just trying to observe my quiet time, and then I'm just going to go to the window and kind of do what I do almost every morning, which is to spy on my neighbors. I'm joking. I'm just trying to observe the weather and just check what the weather is looking like outside. And then when I get out, I notice that the boys are already awake. This one in particular is already disturbing the neighbors, singing and drumming. And then I just go ahead to brush my teeth. And you can tell that I'm one of those people who cannot stand it when you press the toothpaste in the middle. So every morning I have decided, instead of complaining, I'm just going to press the toothpaste down and brush my teeth because my mental health is more important. So fast forward to the next day, I had done morning drop off for my firstborn, and I just stopped by the store to get a few things. And then I'm just going to go ahead and, decant what needs to be decanted. The majority of what I got in today's stop off at the store is citrus because, this weather, and I'm not a milk person. So if I'm going to have a cup of tea or anything, it has to have citrus, either lemon or lime in it. Now, that is not to say that I'm not a milk person or that I'm lactose intolerant, but I just prefer to have citrus in my tea and have my tea tangy than to have milk in it. So anyway, this is another way that I have been preserving my herbs. I've shown you how I preserve my parsley with the same method, but I do this for a couple of herbs. I do this for spring onions, parsley, and I also do it for mint. It is a great way to preserve your herbs and just get them fresher for longer so you have better use from them, and it just makes the herbs last. Besides, you can always get fresh mint from your windowsill. I put this in the fridge initially, but then I moved it to the window. But today we are going to Newcastle. We have a family field trip or road trip, whatever the name is. Anyway, you guys, we're going to Newcastle today, and my son's gone to school for half the day, so I'm going to pick him up later in the afternoon, and then from there we're going to head down to Newcastle. So I'm going to bring you guys along. I'm just going to go upstairs now and try to get ready, do my makeup and everything. Darlington to Newcastle is about 50 minutes, so yeah, that should not be in too long a time, but I'm just going to make sure that I have enough snacks for the boys. Yeah, so 50 minutes should be manageable with the boys, but let's just wait and see. The video is also going up today about a new skill up program that the UK government is implementing. It has already started, but you can also join for the next batch. Please engage on that video and take advantage of it. I think a lot of people will benefit from it as well. My sincere apologies, you guys, for that terrible audio. I'm absolutely gutted. The sound is so irritating. Anyway, we started the journey and your baby girl was already tired. Like, we hadn't even left Darlington and I was already looking like I was bored of the trip already. I kind of hate sitting in long road trips. The boys enjoy it, my husband enjoys it, but I don't really like it. Like, let's just get where we're going quickly. But the only thing that keeps me gingered, the only thing that keeps me going on like really long road trips like this is music. Gospel music is my go-to and I love to jam. But on this particular day, I was not feeling like listening to music at all. I just wanted to be quiet and listen to nothing. And the boys were really quiet in the background. That's not something that you hear often. And I was just enjoying the silence. So yeah, the road trip down to Newcastle was not as exciting or as eventful as I thought it was going to be anyway. But the only thing that gave me joy was when I started to see small hold up, and that just let me know that we were close to the town center and we were approaching Newcastle, and before you knew it, we were already in Newcastle. So the OGs on this channel know that Newcastle and Omotola, they're like 5 and 6, and you see this bridge, this tiny bridge. Father Lord, I want to live in Newcastle. Like, I really, really just want to stay in this place. I just love Newcastle. But anyway, you guys, this is just a personal rant. And I don't know if anybody is like that with any part of the world. There's a particular place that my heart is. And until I live there, I don't know if I will be okay. Anyway, you guys, we finished what we came to Newcastle to do. And then we stopped at this art gallery. The first place we entered was just like a bookstore, and it had a lot of books just on random things. And then this next place was filled with Egyptian content, like there was Egyptian literature literally everywhere. And then we entered the first place, and the only thing you could see, or the majority of the things you could see there, were like Egyptian mummies, queens and kings. And in my head, I'm like, don't these things belong in Egypt? What are they doing in England? Like, this is so out of place. But then I don't know if he was gifted, and then there was this uncle that didn't wear pants, and I'm like, uncle, where is your trouser? But anyway, you guys, we decided to explore. We saw this dress, nightgown looking thing. I don't know what it was doing in there. And then there were different sections. There was this uncle that was not smiling with an angry mustache, and then there was this really cool table that was showing fossils that date back to about 300 million years. And then they said don't touch, but you know, I had to touch it at some point because it was looking really interesting. Anyway, there was this show glass that was, you know, depicting some really funny shells, and it was fun to see. And I actually quite enjoyed looking at some of the things in here, although I couldn't understand some of them. Like, we saw googly eyes. I'm like, that's modern day. What's googly eyes doing in the show glass? Anyway, we decided to make our way to another area of this gallery, and that was for the children. This was the play area, and it was filled with so many things that is kind of peculiar to to England, or let's say the UK. So there was this area where you had wooden trains. Trains is really big in the UK here. And then my son went to go and look for this cap, and the only thing that was going on in my head was krokro and lakwa. The Nigerian mother in me did not even waste time telling him to go and take it off and clean up your hair and make sure that you behave yourself. Then I went to go and look for trouble with someone that was minding his business, because if I do not look for trouble, who will? Anyway, you guys, as soon as I had explored, I had seen the four corners of this place, I was already tired. I said, let's be going, let's go and look for another thing in another place. But these people, they were not hearing it. They did not want to even leave this place at all. I'm like, before you people come and stress me, I will sit down and rest my soul. And then they were just going from one table to the other. There was a lot for them to see. My husband was also intrigued. And one thing that was really fascinating to me was like, how are these children able to understand some things? Like this telephone now. I know, being born in the 80s, that this is a telephone, like this is a telephone. But how is this boy even able to know how to use it? Like maybe he's seen it in cartoons and things like that. But anyway, you guys, we spent some time here. The boys didn't want to leave. They were just exploring, and I was already out of it. Like in my mind, I was already, let's just go. So eventually we went up to the watercolor gallery where they had more paintings, and you know, there were just really cool things to look at. There was a lot to read, there was a lot to see. And I think in my son's school, I mean my firstborn, he was able to pick out a picture that was depicting the Great Fire of London, and I was actually quite intrigued by what he had to say about that. So their history is something that they're really big on, and some of these paintings depict some of that. But you know, your girl, after I've seen one or two, I'm okay, let's go. They did not want to hear. So after much pleading, they eventually agreed to come down and explore another part of the gallery. And as we're making our way down, I was praying that we will see something a little different from what we've been seeing so far. And my prayers were sort of answered, because we saw this auntie that was thinking. I'm like, auntie, what a lady, what are you thinking? It was a really fun section, because some of the art and some of the sculptures that we were seeing were a little different from what we've been seeing in the other parts that we had explored. And then the art in this section were a lot more relatable. They were more modern, sort of. There was also some collection box where people were donating to appreciate the art. And because I'm operating cashless, I do not have any cash or coins to give, and we decided to explore. I actually enjoyed this section because the art in here were more modern. They were more intriguing. There were some sculptures that were depicting war, and there were some that were depicting the medieval times, where had Vikings and all of that. There were also some sculptures and some pictures talking about Christianity and all of that. And I think I really loved this one with the black dress. It was one of my favorites. And then my heart stopped when my son stopped by this painting and touched it. I mean, why is this the one that he relates with? I don't understand. Anyway, you guys, that was one moment that I don't think I'll delete that video from my phone. And then we saw this mama, and I'm like, what in the banana leaf is going on here? What is happening, Miss Epstein? What are you doing with banana leaf on your head? What's happening? Anyway, you guys, that was as much exploring as I had the stomach for, and I was happy to be out of there because I don't know, I just get bored easily. Anyway, you guys, boys had enjoyed themselves, and as we were going, I was actually surprised to find out that there was even more art on the wall outside as we're going. And that's that about that. Anyway, you guys, we made our way back to the car and we headed back to Darlington. Newcastle is one place that will always have my heart. I absolutely love this place and I want to settle here. Oh Lord, hear my prayer. But anyway, you guys, we got back into the car and we decided to snack. And bourbon, at this point, bourbon needs to be sponsoring my videos because the amount of bourbon we eat on these vlogs is enormous. Anyway, we saw some people protesting and had to read their placard to be able to understand that these people were still against vaccine. I'm like, okay, this is not something you see in a small place like Darlington. Like, you find this sort of things in big places like Newcastle. Like, people have so much freedom to speak here. Anyway, you guys, we got home and I had lost all interest of vlogging, and that was that about the day. Anyway, fast forward to the next day. So this section of the video is sponsored by Irresistible Me, and they have sent me this tube of amazing hair. Irresistible Me deals in clippings and tape-ins. They also have wigs up on their website. Everything that you need from Irresistible Me will be in the description box below, so please check them out. They have 100% Remy hair and they are very well sourced, and this hair, I have to say, is really soft and the quality is really good. The hair also comes with a security taping to make sure that your package hasn't been opened. It also comes in this nice silk dust bag to just maintain the quality of the hair. And the installation is really easy. All you have to do is snip the pins open and just lay the hair where you want them. And this is just me rushing the night before. I have to go out to just make sure that these clip-ins are in place and I'm just ready to go in the morning of. So it's really easy to install, you guys. All the details for their website will be in the description box. Please go over there and patronize them. There will also be discounts on their website, so please take advantage of that. So if you follow me on Instagram or you've seen my community posts, you will see how I'm able to conceal where my hair starts and where the clip-ins end with these bands I got from Shein. And yes, that is how I'm able to rock this hair. It is so full and it is so light all at the same time. That is it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye, guys.